Okay, let's get started with The Boys, the instant white hot wild review. This is the final episode, so let's talk about it. Oops. Here we go. First thing first, I want to talk about Noir's death. I've personally found it to be the most intense and obviously even the tragic scene. I mean, what scene could be more tragic than this in this episode? Because honestly speaking, look, watching the last episode and how they showed everything about Noir and his true story, and how he was basically mistreated by Soldier Boy and thus had all this hate built up for him. I really wanted to see him face against Soldier Boy one last time. Sorry, I'm just saying that I really wanted to see him face off against Soldier Boy one last time, even though he may not have been able to defeat Soldier Boy. I just wanted to see him like die truly like a hero or something like that. But unfortunately, Homelander got in both their ways because neither could Soldier Boy do like deal with Black Noir or like try to like confront Black Noir for letting him be taken by the Russians. Neither could Noir also like fight against the Soldier Boy. So it was a loss for both of them, given that Homelander killed Noir. And honestly speaking, like before, he actually, I guess, we could call it gut punched him. Well, not just gut punched him, but actually ripped his gut out completely. I have to say that before that scene had took place, my heart started beating faster because I knew, something messed up was going to go down, and it did. Especially, when he started crying, like, you should have told me, that, Soldier Boy was my dad or something like that. I remember he said something like that, but I remember he was crying. I knew that's when things were going to go down sideways, which they did, and on eventually, and then we had all these animated animals show up to Black Noir and tell him it's going to be it's going to be all right. He's finally going to be able to rest in peace, and he was really brave. Yeah, of course, that made it even more emotional. Now, looking back at his character arc, I have to say that in a nutshell, he basically got bullied by Soldier Boy and killed by Homelander. Even though Homelander never like mistreated or bullied him like Soldier Boy did, he was the one to eventually kill him though. So there's that. It's very interesting when you think about it, given that he gets killed by the son of Soldier Boy. Now, I did want to quickly touch upon A-Train because I personally thought that he was redeeming himself. Unfortunately, things just get worse for him, and from where I see it, because even after killing Blue Hawk and like trying to like well, he didn't like make him pay, but he killed him with the hope that he made up for what he did to his brother and what all those like brutal acts he has committed. Unfortunately, his brother doesn't accept him, especially now that especially the fact that he murdered someone. So in his eyes he's now a murderer, which I don't blame him for. But I just feel sorry for Adrian that things just keep getting worse for him, and he's still going through rough times, and they aren't getting better anytime soon. Hopefully that changes, but we will see about that. Now, the one character that truly redeemed himself in a very satisfying manner in this episode would be obviously Huey, especially when his life gets saved by Butcher from not by not letting him take more of that compound V or temp V, I mean. And fortunately, Annie was also there to support him and take him back, even though she was a little bit mad at him for obvious reasons. But I really liked the scene how he took his father's example, because that it was his father. The fact that mentions how his father was the one who took care of him all by himself when his mother wasn't there for him. I think that truly taught him that lesson that he doesn't really need to have powers to be powerful and protective, and he's not going to be weak for not having powers. The same way his father wasn't weak, especially when he took care of him. So it was beautiful. I guess he beautifully learned his lesson. Now the final showdown. I think this is where most of the problems happened, and I'll be honest with you, it was for the better or worse. It wasn't necessarily all that bad, but yeah, there were a couple of misses which we should talk about. First of all, the scene between Homelander and Soldier Boy almost felt like they were going to fight, and we could have seen another fight scene with both of them, and that's a proper fight scene. But looks like Ryan got in the way for better or worse, because Soldier Boy then realizes he has a grandson now, not just a son. But then once he sees him hurt Homelander, Ryan had to like fight back, and then Soldier Boy gets angry at Ryan and beats Ryan. Eventually Butcher has to go get in the way and fight against Soldier Boy instead of Homelander. which was very unexpected. I mean, the fight scene was completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but I have to say that was very unexpected. Didn't expect that to happen at all. Especially when he personally never had any grudge against Soldier Boy. It was either Homelander or Mother's Milk who should have fought against Soldier Boy, but it was Butcher instead. But the other character was Maeve, who fought against Homelander instead. And that fight scene was pretty sudden. And honestly speaking, I mean, the fight scene was also pretty good. It was pretty cool to see her fight against Homelander. But I have to say that, that was a very, like not out of place, but it was very abrupt to see her just fight against Homelander like that. And Homelander, on the other hand, wasn't completely in the fight either. He kept telling Maeve, "Not now, not now," but Maeve kept, punching him and kicking him. It clearly showed how that fight wasn't like, really a proper fight once again. So there was that. But nonetheless, I didn't have too much of a problem. Didn't Wasn't really, too excited to see Maeve fight against Homelander. Nonetheless, we got to see them fight, which was all right. Now I think I don't have any image for Kimiko, but I'll say that, I'll just quickly touch upon her. I'll just say that I think she was just having fun more than anything. But I mean, she didn't have much going on. I just guess, maybe because, she just got her powers back. So, we didn't get to see much of her, which, might not be the case in season 4. We'll definitely get to see her use her powers once again. But Kimiko, she didn't have a huge role. But Starlight, I think that Captain Marvel moment she had in this scene in particular, I think it was fine by me. I think it makes me look forward to see more of her and her unlocked powers now that she has truly unlocked more powers, given that she's able to. I guess this is supposed to imply that she can fly now. So hopefully we'll find out in season 4 if she can fly or not, and what new power she has. So I'm looking forward to that. I personally like that scene. I didn't have a problem with that. But anyways, let's move to the ending. And I think the ending, after what happens in the ending, I feel like it's fair to, have all those missed opportunities in that final fight scene. Because if it weren't for that final fight scene, I don't think they would have been able to build up the next season. So I guess there's that, trade-off that needs to happen if you want to really have an exciting and an even crazier, season after this, which would be season 4. So first of all, let's just talk about a couple of things and that happens in the ending before we get to the biggest part of the ending. First of all, looks like Maeve can live happily now with her partner, which is good for her. Even though she has to live without her powers now, given that Soldier Boy fried it away. Honestly, I thought she died there, but actually her powers just got fried. That's it. And Soldier Boy on the other hand, I think he's sedated once again, and this time in America instead of Russia. I guess he will return when plot needs him to. So at least we know that he's still alive. So he will come back sooner or later. Now Homelander and Ryan unifying, I think that's the biggest setup for the next season. Watching father and son unite together, sooner or later this needed to happen. Like you cannot keep him away from his biological father for that long. Sooner or later they have to unite. Ryan has to learn from Homelander, all those things. He needs to get influenced by Homelander, and we need to see what direction he heads towards. That way the series will be more engaging. So it needs to happen. Not to say that Ryan won't come back to the right path. He will, but right now it's important we see them together. And especially that scene, when Homelander just kills that guy, that Starlight supporter in broad daylight with his heat vision, and everyone, all their supporters supporting him, cheering for both of them instead of like hating on them or being shocked. Certainly, this shows that they're gonna have a lot of fun together in the next season, and we as audience will also have fun. I mean, look at these two smiles. These two smiles said everything that they're gonna be. I think next season is basically going to be their season for this. So I guess we're going to find that out in the next season. So those were my thoughts for this episode, and what I believe will happen in season 4. If I mentioned what all I think is going to happen in season 4, but you tell me if you're looking forward to season 4, and episode 8, was it like, did it successfully set up season 4, even though it might have messed up in the final fight scene, um, for the most part. And there's that. And as usual, here's a reference. And until next time, see you next time.